All right, Vince, are you ready for rapid fire?
Let's go. Rapid fire for a Monday. Let's do it.
I want to start with this. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm seeing all this Prince Kiley transferring to Vanderbilt stuff out this afternoon.
Okay.
Didn't we talk about that a couple weeks ago?
Sure did. Yep.
What? That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden I'm seeing all these people reporting that Kiley is transferring to Vanderbilt. I thought
they are way
pretty
behind.
sure we literally talked about this like 2 weeks ago.
So. Yes, they are way behind. Like that was a long time ago. Yeah, you're right. On3 has a committed thing, and because Prince Kiley put it out on his social media, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know. I was pretty sure that he had it out there a long time before that. But hey, maybe not.
I don't know.
But we talked about it. I know we did. We
pretty
talked
sure
about
we
it a while back, actually.
Yeah. Decaf going back to that. Yes, Notre Dame's best pitcher is out with Tommy John. And so that, I think that contributes, to kind of how things played out the last month or so of the season. That's how long he's been out, but hopefully he's back for next year. Fill in the blank. It is blank that Cam Hart says he's a first-round cornerback.
I love the confidence, and I think he's got first-round cornerback ability. He's just injured. The injury bug has killed him, and he hasn't had an opportunity to really show what he can do. And that's actually one of the reasons that he came back for this year was, first of all, number one, he knows how good Benjamin Morrison is, and he thinks that teams are going to try to pick on him. And so he's going to have an opportunity to show how good he actually is. Because if you remember, when he's healthy, no one would ever throw in his direction. They'd always throw to the other side. And then he got hurt, and then Benjamin Morrison came on to the scene, and they kept picking on him. And obviously he was able to make a name for himself because of that. He came back because he thinks teams are going to go away from Morrison and go towards him, and he's going to be able to prove it. And I love the moxie. I love the confidence. That's what you need as a corner. You need to have that confidence level. He's got all the talent in the world. I am one of his biggest supporters for being that dude. And if he can back it up, then Notre Dame has the best cornerback tandem in the country. And it's going to be awesome.
What do you say when you're a cornerback? Got to have a short memory.
Yeah.
Got to be confident. And you can't play that position. Even if it's maybe, a little bit of inflated bravado, like you've got to have it. Like you've got to have the belief that no matter what just happened on the last play, you're going to win the battle on the next play. And obviously that's what Cam Hart has, because he's not necessarily thought of in that vein right now. Of the two, Benjamin Morrison is getting all the publicity, obviously, because 6 interceptions will do that last year, even though just what you're talking about. The fact that you have 6 interceptions speaks to opportunity. They kept throwing Benjamin Morrison's way because they weren't going to throw Cam Hart's way. Now you're going to have to pick your poison because, one's got all the, like number 20 has all this attention now. So you're exactly right. They're going to test Cam Hart, I would think, early in the season. And now it's up to Cam Hart to go get it done. And I think he will as well. Here's the quote. I'm a first-round cornerback. I mean, I feel like I've been slept on because of my injuries and because of who knows what, but I'm a first-round cornerback. I'll show that for sure, end quote.
I love it. Love it. I love the confidence level. That's exactly what, like I said, that's exactly what you want from a corner. It's exactly what you want. And so like I said, I hope he can prove it. I hope that he shows everybody that he is that guy. He is that dude, because they are going to throw at him. I mean, Benjamin Morrison's getting all the pub. He's getting all the preseason All-Americans, and all these different things. He was on the Athlon, preseason All-America list, all these different things. Nobody's going to throw at 20. They're going to throw at 5 because they're going to forget that he's a dude. Hopefully he reminds them real quickly.
Derek says you have a heart tat over your heart.
It's right here. It's right here.
Big one.
Number 5 right next to it.
Let that hang out. Brent asks, scale of 1 to 10, Justin Scott signing with Notre Dame. What are the chances?
I mean, if you listen to Brian, he says it's a 6. So I'll take it. Okay, it's a 6. In recruiting, can you be more confident than that? unless the kid is already a silent commit. So I'll take Brian's assessment that it's a 6. And I believe he said if he doesn't visit in June, then it drops to a 3. Okay, cool. I'm with that. If he cancels a visit, then yeah, that's not going to do anything for my confidence level.
Right. I can't add any more than that. That's what it's going to come down to. They've been working on him, trying to get him here, see if he gets here. And 6 is still better than 50-50. It's not great, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Absolutely.
Former Notre Dame walk-on Sam Assaf graduated this weekend, along with all the other graduates over there at Notre Dame. Congratulations to all the graduates. He was not only a football walk-on, but a lacrosse walk-on as well, and he graduated with a 3.98 GPA. My question, Vince, what would your GPA have been if you had played 2 sports in college?
I didn't play any sports in college, and my GPA wasn't a 3.98. So it would have been.
Was it even 3? Was it even 3? Okay.
Yes, it was. My college GPA was much better than my high school GPA.
Yeah, mine too.
Just putting that out there. But no, look, the fact that he was able to do that and be at a high level. I mean, look, yes, he was a walk-on on both, but I'm pretty sure he played on the lacrosse team. I believe he actually played there. And, you know, he was a high-level practice kid for the football team. You still have the same commitments. You still have all of the same, everything that a starter would have, meetings and practices and weightlifting.
You got to be there for everything.
All of that, right? And so good for him, man. That is not an easy thing. He strikes me as a kid who's very similar to like my kid, who needs to have like his day regimented from start to finish. Otherwise, the mind wanders a little bit and, whatever. But as long as there's
sounds like somebody I know
things going on, you're good to go.
Used to live in my household.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
And it's amazing. Those are both, and all the people we were talking about are high academic kids.
High achievers. That's right.
But like they need to have that schedule.
Yep. And I would say that there's no way I would get a 3.98 if I was playing 2 sports in college, and I'd played 0 in college, just like you. But it is amazing. And like the Sam Assaf, of course, Mick is his brother, and the whole Assaf family and all that. And he and Jaden Thomas actually went to high school together.
Oh, okay.
I guess I can't remember the name of the high school right now, but yeah, they went to high school together and the whole thing. And lacrosse beat Johns Hopkins, by the way, this weekend.
That's
to go to the Final Four. So
nice.
Yeah, men's lacrosse into the Final Four. So congratulations to them as well. But that's pretty awesome to walk on both sports at a major college like Notre Dame and still be able to pull that off. That's pretty amazing. To play 2 sports like that as well, because your whole calendar, your whole academic year, plus your summer is spoken for. Like everything is spoken for. You have no time. So I think what we're going to start doing here in rapid fire, we're going to pick a team each, maybe not every day, but throughout the summer anyway. We're going to throw some teams in, and we're going to try to pick the record for the upcoming season.
Okay.
So Michigan has an over-under win total of 10.5 right now. Here's their schedule.
Regular season, right?
Yes, regular season.
Yeah.
They start off with East Carolina, then they play UNLV, then Bowling Green, then Rutgers, at Nebraska, at Minnesota, home against Indiana, at Michigan State, then Purdue, at Penn State, at Maryland, finish off with Ohio State. So what's Michigan's record going to be?
The way I'm looking at it, and I'm trying to take the bias out, okay? I'm taking the bias out. I just have a hard time seeing Ohio State lose 3 in a row to Michigan, okay? I have a hard time with that. I really do. And so I think they lose that one. And if Penn State's as good as everybody says that they're going to be offensively, going to Penn State in week 10 is not going to be an easy task. How does Michigan play on the road? Because their road games prior to Penn State are Nebraska, Minnesota, and Michigan State. Have they really been tested on the road at that point? I'm going to say no. I think this is their first true and only road test of the season, and I don't think they pass it. So I will say that they end up 10-2.
Ooh, okay. So you're definitely under on the 10.5 then. And I mean,
yes,
the season, and it's amazing, you know, because really it doesn't matter if you're Notre Dame or who it is. Your season typically comes down to 2 or 3 games, right? Like you mentioned, Ohio State and Penn State. I still think you can throw Michigan State in there as well, because Harbaugh is still 4-4 in his career against Michigan State. They won last year. They lost just 2 years ago. They still made the college football. Remember, that was like all the controversy. Michigan State beat Michigan, but Michigan remained ranked higher in the polls and all that stuff. And then Michigan State ended up losing late. Michigan got into the playoff, but Michigan's won the last 2 against Penn State, and 7 of the last 10. It was lopsided last year, close before that. And that's like just how good, you know, like you talked about Penn State's offense, what kind of defense are they going to be able to, the question with all these teams, how physical can they be up front against Michigan with that run game? And can they make JJ McCarthy have to throw the ball more than he's comfortable throwing the ball, you know, in situations that he's not comfortable in? Ohio State had won 8 straight before Michigan won the last 2. I tend to agree. They will lose either Penn State or Ohio State. I don't think they lose both, though.
Okay.
That Michigan State is just such a wild card. I'm going to go with you, and I'm going to say 10-2. I don't think that they will be quite as good as they have been the last couple of years.
Yeah, I mean, I know that the schedule is fairly weak overall. I mean, if you look at the schedule, it's not something that you get excited about if you're not a Michigan fan. You know, I mean, the games that I'm looking at, those are not like must-see games. Like, oh, can't wait to watch Michigan and Indiana or what, you know, there's not a lot of marquee games for me. Maybe Michigan State.
Just wait till Ohio NBC State starts rolling out those primetime Big Ten games, baby.
I know. I can't wait. Can't wait. But it's going to be
But that's the thing. Like, they don't even play Iowa. They don't play Wisconsin. Right. You know,
they don't play the upper echelon Big Ten teams.
Yeah.
I'll
be curious to see what these schedules look like, because with USC and UCLA, they're still debating, I guess, what the format is going to look like. Are you going to have 3 permanent teams you're going to play, or are you going to have 2 permanent teams?
Right.
And what the rotation is going to look like. It'll all look different next year. And I'll be curious to see like how much they match up Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State, and, you know, USC, UCLA, what that looks like how often they're going to play each other.
I mean, Michigan can sleepwalk to 7-0, in my opinion.
Oh, absolutely.
If they get tripped up, so be it. But based on paper, they can sleepwalk to 7-0, and then Michigan State's their 8th game. Yeah. And then, I mean, it's more, you know, obviously back heavy with the bigger teams, but I mean, they're going to be 7-0 without even trying.
Yeah. I mean, that is that last 5 weeks, Michigan State, Purdue, Penn State, Maryland, Ohio State, and you're on the road for both Michigan State and Penn State.
3 of them. You're on the road for 3 of those 5 games too.
What's the third?
At Michigan State, at Penn State, at Maryland. No, I'm not saying Maryland.
Oh, just the fact you go to Maryland,
but you're on the road.
You have to go on the road.
Yeah. You got to go on the road. So yeah, I mean, 3 of those 5 you're on the road. So
right. So NFL owners tabled the Philadelphia Eagles' proposal to create a 4th and 20 alternative to the onside kick. Wasn't completely voted down, but they're going to discuss it more. Would you stick with the onside kick, or do you like this 4th and 20 thing? Like, you convert the 4th and 20, you know, as opposed to trying to recover an onside kick.
I think there's more of a chance of you completing 4th and 20 than there is of completing an onside kick. So, I mean, if you're into comebacks and you're into, you know, wild finishes, then you should be for the 4th and 20. I just think that there's more of a chance of a busted coverage or a kid running past another kid and just putting it up there. Like, I feel like 4th and 20 is more possible than an onside kick. But I still like the onside kick, man. I still like it. There's so much, not that there's not skill in converting a 4th and 20.
But I also like the surprise of it. You know, like if you switch to this 4th and 20 thing, then like the opening kickoff, if you wanted, like you couldn't.
So you're not allowed to
like, hey,
not allowed to do that anymore.
We'd like to. I don't think so. I think that's what the whole purpose of this
that
rule
I
is.
really don't like.
Unless they made it, end of game situations, whatever. Right. But yeah, I don't think and again, they haven't put this up for a vote yet, so there's more things to be sort of worked out in it. But yeah, the element of surprise you completely take away.
That part.
Yeah. Like at the end of games, if you're down by, a score or whatever, and it's obvious, then that's different. But if you completely take the onside kick out of it, I wouldn't like it at all. There's strategy that goes along with that.
Completely agree with that. I mean, caveat, it's high school football. I get it. But like we were playing a team we had no business being with, and we opening kickoff, we onside kick, got the ball, went down and scored. Yep. Huge momentum changer, huge momentum changer. You're taking that out of the game. That stinks. That absolutely stinks. I do not like that at all. At all.
Yeah, I agree. So neither one of us is really a big golf fan. There was a fun story this weekend at the PGA Championship. Michael Block, 46 years old, teaches golf lessons at a public course in California. Hits a hole-in-one yesterday. He goes on to finish in the top 15, which means he gets an automatic invitation to come back for next year's PGA Championship. Pretty much just storybook all the way around.
I think that's awesome. I saw some people on Twitter that were all mad he was getting this much publicity. Golf can use all the publicity that it can get with the Live Tour and like all these different things that are killing the PGA. They can use all the publicity that they can get, and when you've got this tin cup guy basically coming out, and I mean, did you see the hole-in-one? Like it was one of those ones that it was just a doink, like right in the cup on the fly. Which you'd have a hard time being 10 yards away, throwing the ball and getting it to land in the cup like that. Like it didn't even bounce on the green. It just went bloop. I mean, and he's like, it was funny. They had him mic'd up. He's like, did that really go in? Like, is that in the hole? Did that really go in? And everybody's cheering and everything. He's like, I don't think it went in. Like, are you kidding me?
See, personally, like I think now again, I wasn't watching yesterday, so I don't know how the whole broadcast worked out. But like, I saw some criticism that they devoted some attention to him like Saturday, and then Sunday they basically forgot about him because he wasn't high enough in the standings for CBS to talk about. And people thought, look, you built this guy up on Saturday, at least talk about him more on Sunday. I think that was maybe before the hole-in-one or whatever, but it's just it's the best finish for a club pro in the PGA since 1986.
That's awesome.
He rose more than 3,000 spots in the rankings from whatever he was to 577th right now. And he made more than $288,000 for his 15th place finish, 288,000 plus. His previous career winnings were around $7,900, I guess.
7,900?
7,900. He made 288,000.
Wow.
15th yesterday.
I would have gotten that all in singles and just rolled around in my bed.
That's right. I thought you were going to say something else.
Nah, I'm going to keep it clean.
That's right.
And keep it nice and clean. But I mean, that's life-changing money, right? And I realize $300,000 is not going to last you forever. But that's a lot of money to invest. You could put it into a house. I mean, there's a million things that you can do that make that money work for you.
He's 46 years old. Like, that's at the very least a starter retirement account,
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, Decaf, I agree with the sentiment. I would also rather watch paint dry than watch golf. But this is a great story, and I didn't watch any of it. I didn't have to watch it.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly. And look, watching a golf tournament just to watch a golf tournament, I agree. I can't do that, and I won't do that. If it's Sunday, it's close. Like I'll watch, generally, but it's more, it's 1,000 times more fun to play for sure.
So baseball has already seen a lot of rules changes, and we've talked about some of them here on this show. Some people calling for a ball strike challenge system for Major League Baseball, where a team would possibly get 3 challenges of a ball strike call. And if you get a challenge correct, you get to retain the challenge. Do you buy or sell the idea of challenging balls and strikes?
I highly sell this. I cannot sell this with more vigor than I am, because there has to be an element to the game that is human. I'm sorry. I don't want robot umpires. I don't want to be challenging balls and strikes. I'm sorry. Part of being a baseball player and being a baseball manager or coach is you do have to adjust to the umpire. And you and I have talked about this a million times. All you want from an umpire is to be consistent.
Right.
If you can be consistent high, consistent low, inside out, be consistent for both teams, and we'll adjust. We'll adjust to where your strike zone is, or whatever it happens to be. We will adjust. That's part of baseball, in my personal opinion. I don't want it to be robotic. I don't want the challenges. I think it's silly. I think it's ridiculous. No.
Completely agree. The challenging of balls and strikes, it's a subjective. If you're going to have a subjective part of your game, which umpiring is, it is all subjective. It is the,
right.
You know, what the eyes happen to see, then there's no reason to be challenging balls and strikes. Now, you can argue maybe you need to get rid of the strike zone box, like we were talking about some of the inventions. Get rid of the strike zone box, because even that is skewed based on the angle of the camera.
Absolutely.
You know, that's been proven based on the angle of the camera. It's not always accurate, you know, where, you know, the ball, you know, what's a ball, what's a strike, all that. Get rid of that so that you're not biasing the audience, you know, to be
against the umpire. Yes,
that's right. Like you said, you wouldn't want robo umps. If my choice was challenge balls or strikes by human umps or go with robo umps, I would go with robo umps. You know, like I would go with that system over challenging balls and strikes.
Because if you're challenging balls and strikes, umpires are going to be second guessing themselves all game long. And I don't want that from an umpire. I want you to be consistent in your calls, and I want you to be confident in your calls, right? We're already, you know, challenging stuff on the base paths, which, by the way, I'm fine about. I don't have an issue with that. I want to get those calls correct, right? The out calls. I want to get those correct. I'm okay with that. And to be honest with you, it's correct way more often than it's not, okay? But like the balls and strikes thing, no. Bad.
By the way, old man, if I remember right, you didn't want any of these, you know, changes on the bases and all this, any of this stuff. Baseball looks a lot more like baseball this year, though.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I can admit when I'm wrong. I still think the oversized bases look ridiculous on TV. They do. They look ridiculous to me. I'm sorry. They just do. But I'm seeing more action on the base paths, which I am all about. I love action on the base paths, so I'm cool with that. We're getting a little bit more controversy when it comes to like the pitch clock, and games are faster.
That's taking some getting used to, because like I'm used to, like, after I'm done with the show, do my thing, and then I've got my MLB package, and I flip on games, and it's like 7:30 and already in the 5th inning, it seems like.
Yeah.
And then I flip to something else, and I come back, and the game's over. So it is taking some getting, like, these games are getting done so quick this year. It is.
They are
taking some getting used to. Derek, on a slightly different topic, but, you know, along the same lines, says in 2023, how do we not have chips in footballs, baseballs, and hockey pucks? That's
a great question. Yeah.
Supposedly there are chips in footballs, but they're using them to collect data, I think, as opposed to actually, you know, like using them for first downs and touchdowns and stuff right now.
I would not mind.
Baseball thing would make sense though too, but then that would get to,
then you got your
using robo umps and stuff.
That's basically what that is. I mean,
yeah.
Like if you're going to put it in a hockey puck, then put it in a soccer ball, you know, so you can see if it breaks the plane, you know, that, like, that's where I'm okay with, because you're doing it on replay already anyway. And if you don't have a good angle, it's hard to tell if a ball breaks the plane or a puck breaks the plane.
Yeah.
If having a chip is going to tell you if that's the case or not.
Exactly. I don't know why they're not using them. I would think that at some point they're going to.
Yeah. I'm okay with that kind of advancement in technology when it comes, because that's just helping get the call correct. And I know you could very easily say, well, if you want to get the call correct, do the strikes and the. No, I still want the human element with balls and strikes. Sorry.
Yeah.
No.
Well, especially, like in these, like football in these short yardage, whether it's goal line or, 3rd and inches, 4th and inches, and you've got bodies piled up on top of each other. If you got a chip in the football, you know right away if it crossed the line it's supposed to cross or not. Absolutely.
Because a lot of times it is the video is construed, right, or blocked by humans. And if you've got a chip, it's easy. It's there. We know it.
Yeah.
Then it's just going to be, did it cross before his knee hits or, things like that. So you're still going to have some video evidence and some, that kind of a thing.
Right. Yep. Good point. Fill in the blank. It's blank that Oscar Mayer has renamed its iconic Wienermobile the Frankmobile.
It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Like that.
What are they accomplishing?
Exactly. They're trying to fix something that didn't need to be fixed. Right? I don't know when the last time you bought hot dogs. It says wieners right on the packaging. Right there. And I think we're all intelligent enough to know
it's an Oscar Mayer wiener,
that it is a hot dog and not a male private part. Like, why do we have to change it's so stupid. They're fixing something that doesn't need to be fixed. Well,
and I mean, something about Mary, his Franks and Beans, got stuck. So
Franks and Beans.
Franks and Beans. Yes. What are we doing here?
Oh gosh, it's just so stupid. It's so no.
And why not just go with the hot dog mobile? Like what? Like if you really, I don't know, man.
So they're gonna change the name to the whistle too? It was a weenie whistle. Is it gonna be the Frankie whistle now? You know what I'm talking about? The little weenie whistle?
No, all legitimate questions.
It's so stupid. It's just so dumb. Why?
I saw the Wienermobile several years back.
Yeah, I've seen it before.
Yeah, it's pretty cool little.
It is awesome.
Yeah.
I would love to drive the Wienermobile. I would love it.
What would make it even better is if it smelled like a
fresh off the grill.
Fresh off the grill hot dog.
Oh man, that'd be so good.
I worked at a hot dog factory one year in college, and it was in the summer. Yeah, and I had to it was like the overnight shift, and I had to go around cleaning stuff. It didn't last very long.
No. How long did it take you? How long did it take you to eat a hot dog? Like after you worked there?
Couple years.
Yeah, I figured.
Got away from the hot dogs for a little while. Still don't eat a whole lot of them, but definitely took some time off after working there. And it was Oscar Mayer as well.
Wow. So. Yeah, I don't see any way that I could do that and still eat a hot dog. I mean, it's just once you see how the sausage is made, and I know that I'm being proverbial here, but still,
yes,
it's no.
Not appetizing. Not appetizing at all. All right, we will leave it at that. Appreciate you joining us here for the show today. Smash the like button on your way out. And, of course, subscribe, rate, and review. Rumor has it we could have the return of the whiteboard tomorrow. Little tease. Little tease.
You are a tease.
Whiteboard could be coming back with some regularity, as a matter of fact, this summer. So get ready for that, my friends.
Yeah.
All right. Vince, enjoyed it as always. I'll talk to you later.
Yes, sir.
We will talk to you tomorrow. IB Nation Sports Talk.